The arousal you feel during a stopped habit isn't spare electricity buzzing around inside you. It is a full psychological mobilization that has suddenly lost its behavioral outlet. When an urge lights up the system, a coordinated cascade begins. Dopamine surges in anticipation of reward. Noradrenaline ramps up alertness. Heart rate rises. Muscles pick up subtle tension. The motor cortex primes movement. The basal ganglia cue the action sequence. Limbic circuits push emotional urgency. Glutamate drives fast neural firing. Your whole body shifts into readiness mode. It's the internal physics of we are about to do the thing. Like a sprinter coiled in the starting blocks, the system is poised to launch. So when you stop the habit mid-run, or that readiness doesn't simply evaporate, that unresolved activation is the arousal you feel. And what happened next is not mystical. It is physiology playing out. The energy doesn't need a symbolic outlet. It just ions flowing across membranes, changes in blood flow, heat release, metabolic fuel being spent, neurotransmitters binding and unbinding, muscles shifting tone, autonomic systems spinning down. The system ramps up and then unwinds. Here is how the unwinding works. 1. Neurons repolarize. After firing spikes, membranes are restored to baseline using ATP, which literally burns energy and releases heat. 2. Muscles release tension. Motor preparation fades. Tone normalizes. The energy is metabolized. 3. Stress hormones are cleared. Noradrenaline and cortisol begin to be broken down and reabsorbed. 4. Blood flow returns to default. Circulation shifts back as urgency drops. 5. The prefrontal cortex suppresses limbic drive, and inhibition costs energy. Control burns fuel. And finally 6. The brain logs a prediction error, and this is the most important thing. This action did not lead to the expected reward. Updating the memory uses ATP, which is real metabolic work. There is no leftover emotional charge floating around, just a system returning to baseline. And yet, the moment does feel charged, because dopamine expected a payoff that never came. The dopamine system predicted reward or relief. When the habit stops abruptly, the brain gets expected reward, yes, but the actual reward, none, nada, doesn't exist. That mismatch, the prediction error, produced that sharp internal sting. As an example, restlessness, agitation, unresolved urgency, emotional intensity, that feeling you feel like you're going to explode, You are not broken. You are simply watching two neural programs collide in real time. And here is the not Linux. Oh my god. Sorry. And here is the luminous part hiding inside the discomfort. Part of that metabolic effort, part of that voltage, is reinvested straight into rewiring. And that makes absolute sense. Like I told you before, if you think about it, yeah, of course. If you think about the whole process of change as you are growing a tree or you are planting something, it makes absolute sense. It's a very beautiful metaphor. So, stopping a running urge doesn't only block action, it teaches the brain very important things. One of them, as an example, this loop is no longer guaranteed. This reward isn't automatic. This pattern is losing priority. And that is exactly what you want, my friend. You want from the brain to understand that this habit is no longer releasing dopamine, is no longer useful for you. And the secret here is to cut off the dopamine. The secret juice, as I love to refer to dopamine. The secret juice, stop it. Which triggers receptor removal, slight weakening of the old synapses, strengthening of inhibitory pathways, change in dopamine timing, updates in memory networks, structural tweaks in dendrites. You are turning arousal into learning. So you are physically removing the old program, the old habit by doing that. So it's not just mentally, it's not just in the software, it is actually in the hardware as well. And that's exactly why after a short period of time, the same exact habit or the same exact urge doesn't feel as powerful as it used to be. It's just now weak, You can just ignore it simply. It's not controlling you anymore. So, what you feel as buzzing, tension, pressure, discomfort, this explosion feeling, is actually in fact high neural firing, autonomic activation, prediction error, limbic momentum, metabolic work, inhibitory control, plasticity beginning. It's not harmful, it's not stuck inside you. It is a transitional physiological state while two powerful systems compete for dominance. And the magic is this. Every time you interrupt the loop, the arousal shrinks next time. Exactly like I told you, because you are literally physically weakening it. Because the habit pathway weakens and the control pathway strengthens. What begins as turbulent collision eventually become a quiet redirection, and the brain learns at the most physical level. This habit, this thing, this urge, this addiction, anything, you name it, you name it, doesn't turn automatically anymore. And that is the win. And that's when you win,